Hi, everybody. I'm going live because I have been thinking about something that I would really love to get your feedback on, and that is my upcoming TEDx talk. So I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time, and one of the reasons why I haven't, well, there's lots of reasons. I've been really busy teaching, but as of July, I am retiring from my certification program. And these 5-day classes that I've had to do, I'm not going to have to do anymore. In fact, I have this coming weekend off, but the next 3 weeks I'm teaching in Burlington, Toronto, and England. So this wasn't sustainable for me to be able to do that. And there's other things that I need to do. I'm working on my next book right now, which is really exciting. The TED Talk, I've been wanting to talk about electric health and talk about the biofield and the power of sound. Those are all things that people don't know about. They don't know about syntropy, and they don't know about how sound has levity and is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. It has magnetic properties, that our biofield is like our mind, and we can access memories. There's so many wonderful roads to go down. But what's been coming to me lately, kind of in weird ways, like even an episode of The Twilight Zone spoke to it. It just has been coming in this cluster about the emotion of hate. So in Biofield Tuning, there's 2 emotions I've found that people don't like to talk about and don't like to own, don't like to feel, really. One of them is shame. And Brene Brown has done a fabulous job in getting people to recognize and to talk about shame. But nobody's talking about hate. And the first thought I had around this was about writing an article titled, "White Men, Please Stop Hating Yourselves." Because I think so many of the problems we have in the world comes from the self-loathing of white males. Don't get me wrong. It's an airplane going over. I'm about to get a new studio where that won't be a problem. But I'm in the flight path of Burlington Airport and close by, which is good because I fly a lot. Hate. So I'm just going to, white men hating. I know everybody to some degree hates themselves. And right, take a breath around that one. And we may think that we hate others. We may think that we hate certain politicians or people in our life who are assholes or narcissists, and it's easy to hate them, but they really hate themselves. The narcissistic personality, I would also call an asshole, pardon my profanity. And I coined a phrase a while back that everyone needs an asshole in their life to help them work their shit out. because those kinds of characters who are so full of self-loathing, they just emanate hate. And if you hate yourself too on any level, in any place, you're going to stick around in the path of that, because all they're doing is reflecting a voice in your own head. It's an outer reflection of an inner experience. And people who really, truly understand and surrender to self-love have the self-respect and also the self-knowing and flowing to not be in the pathway, ideally, of those kinds of characters. And once you've worked your shit out, you don't really need assholes in your life, so they don't tend to hang out. So really, hate it's an issue for all of us, and we're taught when we're young that hate is really bad, especially women. And if you say I hate cherry ice cream, they're like, oh no, hate's a strong word, don't use that word, hate is bad. And so we end up kind of walling off our awareness of it. We're still experiencing it, but it's not coming up into cognition. We've got this thing in the back of our neck, at the base of the neck, that I call the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper is like a bouncer at an exclusive club, and he only lets in, the acceptable people, the right crowd. And things like hate and rage and shame and jealousy and, all of those emotions that we call bad or negative, aren't allowed in. So it doesn't mean that they aren't being generated, because emotions being generated is a normal function of the human body and part of what directs us in life and helps keep us, healthy, emotionally healthy. Otherwise, we'd be like lepers. We need to have these places of pain so we experience them. I feel like emotions in a way are kind of like the zip strips in a highway. You start drifting off in the breakdown lane and you go into so these emotions are kind of like that, but they're guidance posts to you've gone into the rough, and how do you need to adjust to come back into neutral, back into your flow. So emotions are really useful, and all emotions are useful. We don't want to look at any of them or bad or wrong. Like, everybody's welcome in the club. Everybody's welcome at the table. Because everything plays a role in keeping us safe and healthy and sane. And so if we deny the awareness of hate or the expression of hate, it festers. And where it actually piles up is on our physical heart itself. So every time somebody feels hate, it's like a film that settles on the physical heart. And over time and reinforcement, what happens is these films harden and get heavy and thick. The term someone being black-hearted is because it's layered up. But not only that, what it does is hate arrests love. It inhibits love, right? Life is love. The electricity that powers your heart is love. And if your heart stops, what do? Start it back up again with electricity. It's the same electricity that is in your wall is in your body and is in the environment, in lightning and northern lights and the sun and the plasma of space, right? It's all the same electricity that is like the energy of life that powers everything. So when we feel hate, we are inhibiting that flow of life force. And we are disabling the physical heart from doing its job. And instead of the heart being like squishy, and like alive, it ends up being like, and it's not beating right. And then what happens? People have a heart attack, or everything gets all gummed up because it's not a happy heart. So heart disease is the #1 killer in our country. Everybody talks about cancer, and then they want to blame heart disease on saturated fats. Like, all those people out there eating coconut oil are giving themselves heart attacks, right? No, stress is giving people heart attacks. Hate is giving people heart attacks. And that's why people are so mean on social media, because it's a safe place for the hate to come out, because it's not allowed to be expressed around your family or your loved ones, right? Unless you're really an asshole. So I think we need to have a conversation about hate. And I think we all need to wake up to the incredible amount of self-hatred and self-loathing that we're all harboring consciously or subconsciously, and how we direct that out into the world around us. And it's putting a hurting on everybody. All the division, all this hate that's going around, hate crimes, it's all self-hatred. And we've got to really understand that the cure to this comes from really loving ourselves, from loving our own heart, this organ that picks up electricity and sends it into our body. Our bodies are amazing. It's amazing to be human. It's an incredible, incredible gift to have an amazing human body. And you want to love that body. And your body isn't part of nature. Your body is nature. You are water. You are electricity. You are rock. You're mineral. You are earth. All of the earth, all of creation lives inside your body because you're a packet of creation. What's not to love about that? Why would you hate that? it really does start with self-love. I mean, everybody says it, but they're not talking about what gets in the way, and that's that self-hate. And we need to look at it, and we need to acknowledge it, and we need to let it go. And forgive ourselves. Forgive the people who wounded us. And let our hearts soften and get squishy again. And think of ways that you can express your love of nature just to your own being. And to the beings around you. And let's stop hating and get on with getting along. Okay, so tell me if you think that that's a good topic for a TED Talk. Thanks for listening.